Mavi, good morning to you.
Yeah,
it's
good morning.
It's been a controversial issue. I'm sure we'll be occupying many front pages this morning.
Indeed. I mean, look at Hajia. Hajia is everywhere.
Hajia Lima
Hajia is everywhere. I think she's also...
Herself, her name is
here.
It's not supposed to be registered.
Okay, yeah, that's a title, isn't it?
Yeah, Hajia.
Yeah, that's
Lima.
a title. It's a major talking point, definitely. But there's also the security angle, that angle about security in Parliament. We'll bring that conversation in a bit later on.
But ultimately, if you follow the conversation about the security, it means that you're supposed to provide private security.
That's the thing.
And I'm told the Marshals of Parliament, the Marshal of Parliament is the one perhaps heading all this. The thing is, if you can pay private security, why don't you hire people dedicated within the police service, rather, instead of paying private security, to be dedicated to the security of Parliament and parliamentarians?
But who are we to say anything? I mean, how do we come in when supposedly leadership of Parliament met?
Well, I know
and agreed.
We're just sharing our
no,
views.
I get it, because there are people in Parliament who are not in agreement with this.
Yeah, true.
But supposedly their leaders.
It's a very controversial issue.
Yeah, it does, certainly. And we will talk about it.
Yeah, and in Kenya too, a lot have happened. I know you've been playing there. You said been monitoring over the last 2 days.
Kenya is like, it's like a, I don't know, it's like one big joke, really.
Yeah.
What Raila Odinga did yesterday. I don't know what to make of it.
Raila thinks he has.
He swore himself in. He took.
Yesterday, I was just making analysis of all that has transpired, and I was watching some of the pictures and thinking, well, each year when we have elections, for example, we have two notable parties, the MPP and NDC. If the MPP, let's say like what happened in 2013, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had decided that I won't go to the Supreme Court, or even after the Supreme Court, I'll still declare myself president, his followers would have numbered millions on the streets to get him.
Chaos.
Do you understand? So it takes you, the leader or leadership, to make sure you have to do what is right by the country.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is misleading the people by throwing the ethnic and the emotional sentiments.
Yeah.
Because they will always buy it anyway. Yeah. People support people because they come from the same region, the same ethnic grouping, where they have the same skin color, race, etc. It's normal around the world. But you need to show the leadership to make sure, really, if you have the interests of the country at heart, you do what is right.
I agree. We're going to give you a wrap of events that have happened.
We have some videos to play?
Yeah, definitely, when we get there. Leading to what happened yesterday with Raila Odinga, the main opposition, at least that's how we knew him to be, as
I think he lost the election fair and square.
President. He didn't take part in the runoff. That's also another thing. But let's do our local newspaper, the newspapers. We'll also talk about Togo. Togo is just right across, not too far from Ghana. There's also trouble brewing in Togo. The teachers have been on strike. We're told that doctors will join in the strike action. And it's all, kind of trying to build the momentum to get this crop, I don't know, is it this crop of leaders or the leadership of Togo coming from one family for a very long time, a way of booting them out. But we'll see how that goes. We'll share a lot more
One of the many shithole countries in Africa.
No, it's not. Let's do the newspapers. Let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the Daily Graphic. I did say a little earlier, Haji Alima Mahama is making the front page of the graphic. Also, PURC starts review of utility tariffs. Register all names. Ministry directs bets and debts registry. Martin Amidu faces Parliament February 13. That's when
that'll be an interesting one. I'm sure it's going to be live, definitely.
Yeah,
just like we've had the
we will see
appointments committee.
What kind of questions will be put to him, but most importantly, how he's going to tackle those questions. A bit on page 16 in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Okay, so it says all eyes will be on Parliament on February 13, 2018, as the Appointments Committee of Parliament vets the nominee for the position of Special Prosecutor Mr. Martin Amidu, the chairman of the Appointments Committee, Joseph Osei-Wusu, told the Daily Graphic yesterday that from now to February 6, 2018, the committee would receive memoranda from the public intended to share any information about Mr. Amidu with the committee. So after receiving the memoranda, the committee is expected to review them before it sits on February 13. So the vetting would last a day, but if it becomes necessary, it would be extended to another day. Background of all the details there in the paper. Let's talk about the PURC. Says the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission has begun processes to examine and approve electricity and water tariffs for this year. In line with that, the Commission has set today as the deadline for members of the public to submit their inputs on the tariff review. If you've got, if you want to have a say, there's something you want to say about this whole tariff review, the deadline is today. So you might want to look at the story and how you can let your voice be heard and known. Back page of the Daily Graphic. Kumasi Traditional Council orders demolition of structures for completion of market project. Story by Donald Atto Dapatem says the Kumasi Traditional Council has ordered the immediate demolition of all structures, including a hotel, impeding work on the Kejetia redevelopment project in Kumasi, described as unacceptable, and said the situation where such buildings were situated on main drainage and utility systems for the project could stall the completion of the $298 million project. And then occupants of Tema Kaiser Flats asked to vacate premises following court ruling. The Tema Development Corporation has issued a final ultimatum to occupants of the Kaiser Flats in Tema Community 4 to vacate the structure or face forcible eviction on February 1, which is just tomorrow. So this follows a Tema High Court judgment delivered on October 28, 2013 in favor of the TDC. Background to that story you can find along with the main lead on the back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Walker?
So we do the Ghanaian Times. On the front page, Haji Alima Mahama is occupying the front page as always. Death registry makes U-turn on titles and prefixes. Haji Alima Mahama. Not supposed even to have registered your name in the first place. But you're occupying the ministry, so we have to hold you before Parliament.
What are you saying?
VIP expected back home by weekend to majority leader. Okay, now let me get this straight. The Vice President is expected back home by this weekend, which is in about 3-4 days. We again pray for his speedy recovery. I again shared a post in which Samia Uku went to visit him. Good morning to you. So we have doctor shortage hits Northern region. We brought this to you yesterday morning about apparently doctors accepting portents to the area, even those who trained in UDS, that's the University of
They're refusing to be posted to their own region.
They just,
is that it?
Not really like their own regions, like the region where they train, kind of. Yeah, you know. And we're racking up the debt. Ghana EU signed 175 million euro agreement. We're racking up the debt small. Well, let's go on the back page. PRC urges public to submit input for tariffs review. I don't get this one. Oh. I thought the president is announcing that tariffs will be. Anyway, let me keep quiet. Over 2,000 applicants undergoing police recruitment screening in WA. Well, that's a good thing. We're told that 2,000 of them. So, Baba that'll be it succinctly for the Ghanaian Times.
Okay, let's do the New Crusading Guide newspaper next. Front page of the New Crusading Guide. Rots at Goka SHS. School authorities registering unqualified persons for WASI. A bit of that story, page 3 and 10, I will bring to you. Also register all indigenous title names, bets and debts registry ordered. Leap to hit 450,000 households. And Apollonia Land Saga, court places injunction on Tete Mansro and Co. I'll bring you a bit of that as well. Let's do this education story. It says intelligence information gathered by the New Crusading newspaper reveals that the authorities of Goka Senior High Technical School, Jama North District, that's where it is, public school in the Bunohafu region, has for the past years been registering unqualified students who are not continuing ones, and foreigners, a condition which does not conform to the Ghana Education Service rules. And sources, according to the paper, says that the acting headmaster of the school, Prince Amponsa Kwadade, and his assistant head in charge of academics, Al-Hassan Bajo, the administrator of the school, Akwesi Esuboleng, popularly called Sheikh, a tutor of the school, Owusu Fojo, popularly referred to as Zico, and school's internal auditor are alleged to be at the center of these registrations. That's some big allegation in here in the paper. You can read all about it in the New Crusading Guide newspaper. And then, yes, this story on Apollonia. I'm trying to find it so I can share a bit of it for you in the New Crusading Guide newspaper. Hopefully I find it. Otherwise, okay, yes, on the back page actually. So on the back page of the New Crusading Guide paper, you find this story that says a high court in Accra has played an injunction restraining one Seth, Billy Nate, and Idrisu Tetemansro together with their assigns for making grants of any portion of Apollonia lands without the consent and concurrence of the respective clans and families. If you're very familiar with Ga, then you know that the lands are not easy like that. Sometimes you've got to battle it out before you can own a piece of land. So if your interest is here, then you might want to read all about this court's direction on this Apollonia land issue, and then you know where exactly you can begin the process. That's it for the New Crusading Guide newspaper. There are other stories, including this one: VIP Transport commissions ultra-modern restroom at Circle. Roland, I'll come back with a find-up, but for now, you've got the Daily Guide.
I've got the Daily Guide. You have a picture there of 2 cop killers. We're told convicted, 10 suspects caged, and we had Joseph Akable bringing to us from the courts this morning. But the other story rounded up, just summarized there. We have a headlines: Nana Mons Hugh Masakela, and then we have Baumia returns Friday. AMA on rampage. But let's go to the center spread. There's a news one pull out of the Daily Guide newspaper. Xylophone entices Shatta with $1.5 million and a Rolls Royce. He'll be the first musician in Ghana to own a Rolls Royce.
Where's he going to drive it?
In Ghana, Asamoah and Co, they have Rolls Royce. Yeah, and we have a couple of them in town.
I don't know. You see people who have like really nice, expensive cars, but
belly.
they are mostly parked in their homes.
Yeah, true.
So what's the point?
No, sometimes it's good.
How many people would visit you at home to see it?
Your friends, and you can, but for people like Shatta, they'll be on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
I know that once in a while you go for an interview at a radio or television station and you drive yourself there for everybody to see. But for the greater parts, it would be sitting at one place.
If I had my way, I'll own a Rolls Royce, Range Rover, and all that. Charlie, nothing wrong with that. Enjoy the money. Life be short, man. And somebody who is lucky, co-writing a song on the album Divide of Ed Sheeran, as he won Grammy Award. Fuse ODJ wrote that song, Bibia Beye. And we know that co-wrote it.
So he gets a bit of the credit.
Yeah, well. All those who wrote songs on that album. The album won, so co-wrote songwriters on that album.
Yeah.
Charlie, they are the day inside Bibia Beye. And nice. He took to Twitter and said, "Man's got a Grammy, man. Man's a Grammy winning songwriter now.
Man's not hot."
Yeah, thanks Ed for coming to Ghana. What an honor. Yeah.
I don't know, Fuse is one of those guys who keep making us proud.
He's always basking with a lot of energy.
Even without a Grammy for bringing Ed Sheeran to Ghana. I mean, and exposing him
and
the
those
way
are some of the
things
that Shatta Wale does too. you know.
We're talking about Fuse ODG, and suddenly we're talking about
Shatta.
The two of them, I don't know. I don't see where the connection is here.
No, I know one is on the ground, the other one is on the ladder. But Charlie Ghana, man.
Yeah.
Xylophone. Charlie.
Okay, but listen, I had a concern, and I shared it a bit earlier with Dennis and Patrick, who are our part of our technical.
We want to play as a song. Perfect.
You know, Stone Boy has also been signed by Xylophone.
Yeah.
And Shatta is also moving there.
Mm-hmm. What's wrong with that?
Isn't there going to be any kind of conflicts?
No.
I mean,
you know, the money.
These are two artists.
No.
When it comes to hang on, let me land.
Mm.
International wise, one is bigger than the other. One is like a local champion. We know it. Shatta Wale is like, he's everywhere in Ghana. He's such a big deal in Ghana. But you cannot compare when you move outside Ghana, the kind of reputation that Stone Boy has got.
Yeah.
So who is going to be bigger on this
whole
Xylophone? But I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
Okay, so on Facebook, just this early dawn when I was going through, there's one Evans Jamra entry or so. He also wrote the same thing, and he said, how come, he even said rivals. I said, well, back in the day, we had Sony Records, Emmy Records, we had Motown.
Yeah.
The sign rivals. Same rival. You know, when you have the label, the record or the label is not the same as your personal management. So
this is not like a record label, or
no. They sign you.
What are they doing? They're managing them, or what?
Yeah, they put you on the ladder. They give you access. They give you access to shows. They may fund your albums for your recordings and your travel.
So what do they get back?
You mean Xylophone?
Exactly.
Yeah, name, reputation, it's association. The brand association is good for them.
And it's worth the millions?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Charlie, try to be a musician and see if you're signed up.
I want them to manage me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so let's call them.
I think that we have to something, you know?
We have to call them.
Just manage me.
I hope Chum is not listening this morning.
We haven't said they should come and take us. Just
said, true.
Manage me.
But Charlie, almost the $500,000, but you know, I didn't know. The Africans confuse dating with relationship. Jocelyn Duma, it's we have the pull-out still is there. Jocelyn Duma, it's Africans confuse dating with relationship. Jocelyn Duma, but Xylophone, Charlie, they bring money. They said they have a TV station.
Okay,
so
let's go
to somebody whose music career even never started taking off in the first place.
Who is that?
Wiser. He said that manhood court case is taking a toll on my music career.
It should. You should learn your lesson.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Okay, so those will be the stories.
Case is not dying.
This will be the stories.
Let's do the Finder newspaper. Front page of the Finder.
Do you have Xylophone there?
On the front page of the Finder newspaper, on water, 23.1 million below SDG standards. Ghana needs to invest $11.3 billion in 8 years to close deficit.
We're in trouble.
Huge. Pentaliga residents share water with animals at 120.
What's that?
Ghana cedis per month. So the picture on the front page is not a good one. So you'd find a woman fetching water, but alongside you find animals also trying to quench their thirsts, if you like. GRA hits 1 million taxpayer identification numbers milestone. Ghana likely to hedge oil imports as prices rebound, according to source. And there are a lot more stories in the Finder newspaper if you grab the paper. Roland, I'm through with the Finder. What paper do you have?
Okay, so let's go to the Business and Financial Times. Has on the front page, Oforiatta worried over 51 million euro admission or administrative fees on EU cash. And it says the Finance Minister, Ken Oforiatta, by the way, has signed an agreement, has expressed government concern over the 53 million euro administrative fees charged on some 4 financing agreements worth only 175 million signed with the EU in Accra yesterday. While the agreement signed by the Minister on behalf of government are supposed to finance some 4 priority areas of government to the tune of some 175 million euros. Mr. Oforiatta, speaking at the ceremony, was concerned about the 8% administrative fees being charged on each of the agreements. Okay, so it's not really like 53 million, is it? No. All right, so we have Cocobot Ice Chinese market. Boy, yeah. sometimes Ghana companies but when I tell you that Chinese market, then I said they haven't finished even consuming their product too. Kalabasa. So we have bank customers wanting instant access to their funds, and that's GIPS report on the back page. We have economic stories. It's a BNFT's Richard Abe. Good morning to you, Richard. It's been a while I've been in touch. Wins Best in ICT Reporting at IFEG, Flamingo Awards, and IFEG is the Institute of Financial and Economic Journalism. Good morning to you. Here, a picture there of Richard and Raymond Boulay, who used to be my former boss back in the early days of my career at JVC. Good morning to you, Mr. Boulay. Okay, so, no bit.
Let's do the Ghanaian Observer newspaper next. On the front page of the Ghanaian Observer, a story that seemed to be unfolding. Adongo to face court is a big question on the front page of the paper over tax evasion, snits, and bank debts. Hang on, I'll bring you a little bit of it in the paper. Ratified 2003 Maputo Protocol, President to AU member state. Elban Tamahene swears over Kumasi development. He's a man I absolutely respect. He's not known as Nanao. He's called Bafo. Just call him Bafo. Echo Fuado honest Rig World boss, others for promoting gender equality, and Otiko sells Ghana's social intervention policies at UN. Now, let's go to page 8. On page 8, yeah. So, where is it? The story says page 8 and 10. Okay, so maybe on 10 as well. All right. It has emerged that the NDC Member of Parliament for Bogatanga Central and Minority Spokesperson on Finance, Isaac Adongo, has defaulted heavily on several loan facilities secured from a number of financial institutions, primarily to finance his 2016 elections campaign. And according to forensic investigations chanced upon by this paper, which is the Ghanaian Observer, the gravity of the debts is enough to send the banks involved into liquidation, thus compelling them to launch a life-saving attempt to retrieve the money from the Member of Parliament. So details of that.
The gravity of his debt only.
Yeah, can lead to
we are politicians.
Banks running out of cash.
So even a politician can go for credit now.
Well, so I think I saw bits and pieces of.
Yeah, this is what happened. You know,
like
there's a bank, prominent bank around. It published the pictures and names of his defaulters, and apparently his picture happens to be one of them. And so
you
it's
could
not as if
it to be like a ballot paper.
Yeah, it's not as if him alone. So
there are
they have a number of defaulters. So it's not as if his debt is it's the money that's going to collapse the bank. It's just
so it's a GN Bank. GN Bank.
It's GN Bank.
And then the list of loan defaulters, GN Bank Limited.
So we'll call the boss of GN
Kindly
Bank.
contact your branch and settle your outstanding credit facility. But is that really him there?
Well,
is that really him?
I don't know. Could be.
Okay. All right. So
I'm sure his name is there.
Let's do your uncle's newspaper.
As a Kadongo. Charlie, sometimes you see they say when you live in a glass house, don't throw stones, you know.
Listen, we're not.
Okay, the Daily Dispatch newspaper has on the front page.
We're not judging. We're only
protecting
reading
a security fund. For example, I owe a bank even. Normal. The Daily. Please don't publish my yo.
Which bank is that? It starts with an S?
Yes. The Daily Dispatch newspaper has on the front page, protecting a security fund from abuse. Parliamentary committee must have oversight supervision. Publication. Government acts to address leadership crisis at all. But so far, we've had the finance minister coming out to say he's satisfied with the leadership of the Tema Oil refinery. He knows that everything is going to go on well, adequately, well. Okay, so that'll be it.
Okay, let's read some of your messages, and then we'll quickly go online, start off with myjoyonline.com, and then we'll share the situation with Kenya with you. There's a wrap on the BBC page that we're going to share with you. But let's take some of your messages. Somebody really likes you, Roland.
Thank you.
Hadi in Bumpurugu sending us a message. It's essentially for you.
Adi, good morning to you.
What's happening in Kenya is a replica of when the president reads, quotes, States of Nations address, and an opposition leader also reads the quotes, true states of the nation. I don't think so. I mean, they've taken it to a whole new level. You can't swear yourself in as an opposition leader saying that you've won an election that was clearly annulled, and a runoff which you did not take part. Where did you win in all these? This one says, we were crying for roads rehabilitations. It is done, and now dust all over Pandai district, causing a lot of heart disease. Oh, okay. So you remember this story? And then we said we're going to be on the Member of Parliament because he's also a leader in Parliament.
I remember.
So apparently they brushed the road. You know, when they brush the road, the dust, that's what they're suffering. So which one is better?
And you know, we're having a focus on roads this week, throughout this week.
Nuruddin Abdul Rashid in Pandai. Which one is better? Is it the brushing or how it was before?
Yeah.
But I think that they should be kind to you guys. You can put water on it, you know. Yeah. My only worry is the raining season. You go back to the potholes and it will be worse. So if you're fixing it,
I think they need proper asphalted or bitumen roads.
Yeah. All right. So a bit of text messages now. Let me read some of your WhatsApp messages. This one says, Odinga of Kenya is not serious. DZ Nyasa sending us this message. And this one is on Xylophone. How can Xylophone Media sign up local champion? Why not Strongman rather from Deladem?
Who is Strongman?
I don't know who's Strongman. This one says, this has been for the general public, especially those applying between Tamale and Sabugu.
Is that Strongman is a rapper?
Oh, Strongman. Okay.
You know him?
He's man. That guy can rap.
Rap what? Like
except that
rap?
He's like an underground. You'd say that he's one of the underground people,
rapper.
But he's not exactly. I'll go and pull some of the one of the raps and play to you.
I thought rappers
you like him?
And
No, you like him.
And
you like him. He's a real guy. You like him. I tell you, yes.
We have Manifest and Sarkodie.
No. That guy's rap. Yeah. Like Sack, you know, you like Sack, so you would like Strongman.
Yeah.
It's in that range. You like him. Yeah.
But if you sound like Sarkodie,
so he doesn't sound like Sarkodie. Okay. I said because you like Sack,
I would like
you would like
And I just wanted to tell you, says instead of fools, I like new. So if he's a fool, then I like Sarkodie new.
Let's read this one.
We'll put a countermantle.
No, he's not a Sarkodie. Sack signed him on or something. Dennis should know this.
And the young one.
Yeah.
The young one.
Yeah. Okay, so this one says
Dennis Kaboom.
The taxes.
I know it's true. Kaboom.
Roland,
Kaboom.
Can I read messages?
Do you know Kaboom?
That's Echo. Echo Derek Sams Kaboom.
Yeah, he's managing. Sign him on.
Okay, now let me read the messages. Roland, no
with 5,000 Ghana cedi.
So somebody is giving a warning to the general public and saying that those plying the Tamale Sablugu with taxis, the taxis pick 2 passengers in the front seat, which has been for so long. Oh, okay, so you want to put a stop to this. Taxis pick 2 passengers in the front seat and I guess 4 at the back. Happens in a lot of the rural communities. I remember when I went to Angloga for the first time. That was the situation.
So in what year did you go to Angloga for the first time?
1999.
Okay, and that was when you saw that thing the first time?
Yeah, in Angloga.
So sad.
So
it's normal.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. WK, I don't know what to say to you because it's a situation that we're familiar with.
Winfred Kwame, it's normal. In shithole countries, it's normal.
No. Don't even go there. Here's another message from, that's Abdullah Abdul Razak General in Lamashegu in Tamale.
Lamashegu?
Yeah. Okay, so he says, passion is a key that opens the door to joy and abundance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good motivation.
I thought that we would today's the last day in January. Could you believe it? We said January is really long. It's like 64 days. Finally
that long
today.
Time when we finish celebrating Christmas. It's now ended.
Yeah, it's now ended. We've got to give praise to God.
Have we paid school fees?
You haven't?
No, I haven't paid
You haven't? Okay, I have. Sorry for you, mate.
And you know, when you haven't paid, now it means a dent in February.
Listen, do you know what we are actually paying?
It's a problem.
We're paying the main school fees, and then we're paying for lunch.
Tell me.
And then we're paying for snacks.
That's right.
Because there are some schools that they don't allow you to bring your own snacks, so you're paying for snacks as well. And then you're paying, and then in some instances, you're paying for pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a big problem.
Yeah. Whilst you think, let's do my job like that. Can we finish the program then you can start thinking?
Having a deco because during the Christmas they were telling me, take me to the mall. And I was also just going along. I love my children. Apparently I was spending the school fees. It was a problem. We went to watch movies. Okay, let's do. Police aired by keeping all hardened criminals at Kwabenya Station. Former commander.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We are just reactive people. Charlie, let's move on.
And I think that, you know, the style, the way they say the hacksaw blade was put in the bread.
It was well coordinated.
And then they put a phone. It was well coordinated, but as things unfold, we should also be punishing those police officers who did not do the checks. Who did not
follow procedure.
Exactly. Yeah. Because now we're concentrating on catching the guys, prosecuting the guys successfully. But you have a standard
operating procedure.
People did not follow the procedure. And as we do this, we must also punish those people. Yeah. That's it.
Please, we are now mourning.
No, but listen, if we want to move on successfully, we must correct the wrongs. If you look at in the past couple of days, we're talking about retooling the police service. But we cannot retool you successfully when you cannot follow simple procedure.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
I thought you stopped putting on natural hair, so you have stopped this your thing. But let's move on. Mama, we have Trump.
Trump's executive order to keep Guantanamo Bay prison open. So President Trump signed an executive order Tuesday to keep the detention center open at Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. What's the conflict here? They wanted to close down, shut down the facility. Reason they posted 2 of them to us. And reason we are now uncovering a lot of things that we didn't know before.
But that's not fair.
And when I listen to
your comments
details,
are not fair.
What do you mean by my comments?
Because in Europe they took 27 in. 27 of those Guantanamo.
I don't care.
Guantanamo
I live
inmates.
in Africa. I live in West Africa, and I live in Ghana. And I know that they posted 2 to us. There are some details that are coming up. Yesterday, Mahama Yariga was on radio, and he was making a lot more revelations, things that they didn't tell us. And I was like, okay, why are you now even telling us the amount of money that the U.S. gave us, how much we've spent?
I thought they said there was no money that was given.
Thank you. And I was like, okay, now who should believe you, even if it is true? You get what I mean?
So the whole thing is becoming like some Tom and Jerry concert.
Now you're telling us, what do you want us to do with the information? When we needed the information and we asked you, I thought you said it was like...
Never true.
Yeah.
Charlie Mamavi, let's go.
Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on.
Next one, Patrick Gomez.
UHAS, which one is that?
It's called UHAS.
Okay.
University of Health and Allied Sciences. It's in when you're getting to Ho in the Volta region.
That one is called UHAS?
Do you know UHAS? Have you been to Ho lately?
No, I haven't.
I should take you there this weekend.
Yeah. So UHAS poor landowners compensation delay. What is our crime, Mr. President? I guess it's a piece directed at the president. Hopefully, his handlers would read it. Kumasi Traditional Council orders demolition of illegal structures impeding Kejetia project. Ketia.
Yeah. Kizai people.
Odinga's action is unlawful. AU must act. Chair of Parliament Foreign Affairs Committee. But listen, if you know the track record of the African Union, of which we're part,
you even call on them to do anything.
Oh my God!
But now they have a chair. In
Kagame, the president of Rwanda. Listen, I don't think it's even the chair. It's not even the person who sits at the top.
It's the whole institution.
It's the whole institution. This thing happened yesterday. This is Africa. How long should it take them for them to make a statement?
It has started brewing.
Yeah. They knew this was coming.
They should have sent emissaries there to go and tell him, Massa, don't even hold this thing in the first place.
As for AU, Charlie, you can put whoever there. I beg, let's move on.
I'm telling you, if Trump has given up, don't wonder Mama V has given up.
In Game 2 refugee status, U.S. Embassy was informed. Minority claim. That is
back and forth.
Yeah.
And then the U.S. ambassador is next.
It was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. It says that it means that it was a surprise, but this one
it was pleasant.
More pleasant.
And yesterday I said, Now you're telling us they knew. I beg, spare us.
Yeah,
Let's move on, I beg.
true.
Gomez, we won't even do this one. Let's go on.
Next one, Gomez.
Facing a broke country.
All opposition leaders who assume power, this is what they say in Africa. It is normal.
No, but he's cut it 25%. He's cut his own salary.
No. He's saying all of them, when they come to power, they say the country is broke.
But I'm saying that he's made a move.
Yeah, I know.
He's taking less salary.
Yeah, 25, less 25%.
Exactly. All right. So there are a lot more stories on myjoyonline.com that you can definitely catch up. But our time is up. But we're pleading with our director to allow us to go to the BBC and give you a wrap of the Kenyan situation. After which we'll bring you sports. So
let's go to the BBC.
Here we go.
BBC, 4 minutes of it.
Oh, we'll just play what we can play. All right. So this is it. Even though this man was sworn into office in November, it all goes back to this disputed election in August. We're talking 2017. Longtime opposition leader Raila Odinga challenged Uhuru Kenyatta's bid.
No audio.
And this was the results. But this, you would realize, would be annulled later on. That's it. And the Supreme Court later annulled the vote, citing irregularities. The election was rerun in October, but Mr. Odinga boycotted it, saying nothing had changed. All right, so they would go ahead. Mr. Odinga would reject the result too. And at his swearing-in ceremony, he said he was the people's president. He said the move was legal and constitutional. The authorities cut live coverage of the events, but broadcasters continue to stream online. That's what happened yesterday. The Attorney General had warned that Mr. Odinga could be charged with treason. And then with about 50 people reported killed in protests since August, the country's political divisions are deep. Okay. All right. So this is essentially the wrap. Mr. Kenyatta, Odinga swearing himself in. He had, if you look at the picture of the people around him, one is an advisor who's also a lawyer, and the other person is a commissioner of oath. But guess what? Mr. Odinga, he recited his own thing and signed something, and then like 10 minutes, he just left.
Are you sure he's not suffering from some
or something like that?
So we'll go to YouTube later and get a full version of whatever he did that,
So we're waiting to see. Is he now coming to name his cabinet? What is he going to run alongside Uhuru Kenyatta?
But it's purely an illegal government. He can't run anything.
Yeah. We will come back with lots of your messages. We've got lots of your messages. We'll come back and share a lot. We've got AM Business right after sport. So stay with us.